our studio today is Katy Mcdowell. And Katy, I have met you on several different occasions, and I have to tell you guys, because you can't see Katy because this is radio, so you can't see her, but she is the bubbliest, most exciting person that I've ever met lately. She's just so much fun to be around, and I thoroughly enjoy her. And one of my things is, Katy, I really want to get to know you better during this little period of time that we've got, because you're so cool and you're working up at Benedictine. And tell me just a little bit about you before we get started on these questions. Tell me a little bit about you.
So I was born and raised in a suburb outside of Denver, Colorado, and I came to Atchison in 2004, so it's been about 10 years. And
now, did you go to BC?
I did.
You went to BC, and now you're working for them.
I am. So I actually followed my brother. We're Irish twins, so we did everything together. So he came to Benedictine to play baseball. I followed him. I didn't want to come. I thought Denver, Colorado, Atchison, Kansas. I stepped foot on the campus.
Which way to go?
Exactly. I don't know. Where should I go? I stepped foot on campus, and I absolutely fell in love. And needless to say, 10 years later, I'm working. I've had about 3 or 4 different professions at Benedictine, but right now I'm the director of career development. So
Steve Minnis isn't letting you go, is he?
No, he's not.
Just holding on.
We are tight. So happy to celebrate. This is going on my 7th year full-time working there. So it's really exciting. I bought my first house 2 years ago here in Atchison. I have a little dog. I have great friends. I mean, I couldn't be happier to be in Atchison.
Becky just speaks so highly of you. And the one thing we really want to focus on today is getting young people involved within the community and this leadership, the Atchison Young Professionals. Tell us what you're doing with all of this.
Sure. So my boss actually had me get involved in the Atchison leadership class last fall, and she thought it would be...
Who are we going to credit that with? Who's your boss?
Janet Wilcox is my boss.
Yes.
So she's
Wonderful
an amazing
person,
woman. She is a mentor and a leader and an amazing manager. And she thought, Katy, I think this is the next step for us, especially in the department that I'm in, is that I have to build relationships with people. And I can do that, but sometimes my personality can tend to take over. I know, in this situation, as crazy as that is, that, she thought maybe we step outside of that Benedictine bubble and we, really decide that we're going to really commit to the town, and this is how we were going to do it. And I was really, really glad to take it. John Bunch and Liz Lane were our facilitators this year.
People.
So we were actually very lucky. We had 8 community members and 4 Benedictine students that joined the class in the fall. And we sat down, we met with you, Stephanie Leaf, Teresa, and people just kept coming to us and saying, let's do something great. Let's, really get excited and have a project that's going to last. And we just went through and we had lists and we X'd off things that we, thought that we didn't need to do right now, but how were those projects going to get done? And it all came and surfaced around a young professionals group. Every boss, every manager has had somebody great leave Atchison because they wanted to go to a bigger city or they didn't feel like they were necessarily part of something. And for the first time, we started to look around and I started to realize that I knew everybody's name as I was going through the grocery store. I started to realize that I knew everybody's name going out to eat. And I thought, why don't we all get together? If Becky Anderson knows Tyler Lukenhoff, who knows me, why aren't we all hanging out at some point in time?
Exactly.
And everyone has a different profession, and we all may have different hours too. Maybe maybe you're that early riser and you get to see people at the gym, but then maybe you leave town on the weekends and you don't get to do that fun stuff that people are doing. So we thought every other town in America has a young professionals group, so why not start one?
And so you have facilitated this group that will welcome young professionals and young people into the community.
Absolutely.
So I think somebody like you're going to explode into a community, and it doesn't really matter as much where you are. But we have a lot of young folks that come into the community, and they really want to get involved with the community and get to know some people within the Atchison area, and it's not as easy for them. And maybe
they just don't know how.
Exactly. They just don't know know how or who to get started with.
And I think that's probably the most important part of our group is that we didn't want things to just be social, and we didn't want people to just feel like we were going to go to a bar and everyone was going to have kind of that forced fun, that token line of, hi, who are you? What do you do? Let's talk about work. When if you've just got done with a long week of work, the last thing you want to do is talk about work. And I am the queen of like, no work talk. No, everything needs to be fun from here on out. So we actually did a 3-tiered model, and the model is social, professional development, and community service. So I feel like that can touch on everybody. And maybe you're not the most social person, but maybe you'll come to that professional development of how do you build a resume, personal branding, LinkedIn, creating the best accounts. How do you buy your first home? Right here, Luis, we're going to talk to you. And maybe that will stem you to be that you feel comfortable and you start to meet people that you will come to that social event the next time and actually have somebody to talk to. So we had a couple really great events. We had our kickoff event at the end of April where we had over 40 people come. And then our next one was we did Atchison Cleanup Day, and we had over 20 volunteers come. We were the ones picking up the tires, if you guys saw us, on Main Street. And our next event is going to be professional development at the 4th week in June. And we're going to do how to live healthy in the workplace. And then we're going to do, for those of you guys who like to golf, 9, Wine, and Dine in July. So I think I'm really excited to start to get people out of their comfort zone and then make them feel comfortable. And this group can do that.
That is so fantastic. So I'm going to back up just a little bit because I want to make sure people understand the young professionals group, because not only the young professionals group, but we're almost talking about two separate things here, and I want to make sure we've cleared it up with folks in their mind. There's a group that Benedictine has taken over with John Bunch and Liz Lane, and every year there's folks that nominate young people, and it can be from the Chamber of Commerce, from businesses, it can be from individuals that nominate a young person to go to this group. And what's that called?
It's called Leadership Atchison.
And it's a full semester, and you learn about Atchison, you learn about its history, the businesses. You basically kind of become indoctrinated into our community, and you probably know more about our community right now after going through this class than a lot of folks that have been here for years.
Exactly. And, you know, it met every week. We'd meet every Tuesday, 6:30 to 9 p.m., and we'd have different guest speakers. But after we learned all of that history, all of that, you know, about the agriculture, about, you know, the banking, about education, you know, we learned how the city works and why it is what it is. And after that, we were supposed to create this project, and the project needed to be substantial. It needed to make a difference within the community, and the ACYP, the Atchison Community Young Professionals, was the project that was created from that class.
And see, that's so fantastic, because this leadership group, you were gracious enough to include me and with a couple of other, Stephanie and Teresa, in a panel. And after I left there, I was like, now I'm fired up. Now I'm ready to go. This is great, because I think that type of thing just energizes everybody that comes to it. Are you going to be involved with this next one?
I hope I am. I actually sat down with Jackie last week. I'm going back to school. I have 3 classes next semester for my MBA. So I'm hoping that I can get involved in some way, and maybe this spring. But after that, when things kind of calm down, I tend to get myself involved in a lot.
I can believe that.
I hope that I can come back kind of as an alum and help facilitate some of those classes for that. So I'm really excited to just get people out there. If you guys want to get involved and you want to learn about Atchison, I would take this class. It was beneficial.
It's so good. And actually, I think a lot of it is paid for by some of the businesses and that type of thing. So if you have someone that you think would be a great nominee for Leadership Atchison, call Benedictine, find out about the class, and sign up, because I think we've had some fantastic people come out of this over the years, and it's something it goes on every year.
It does. And I think it's actually changed a lot of folks. I think if you are, a lot of times we talk, are you a professional and young, or kind of a state of mind? In my mind, I think if you want to get involved, this could be an easy alleyway for you to start that. And this class totally changed me. I am so happy that I did it. I learned so much and really built up my community and my network of the things that I was able to do. And it really opened my eyes to a lot of things that are going on.
You see a lot of different folks, don't you, Katy?
Absolutely.
I mean, you get out of your comfort zone a little bit, but you have an opportunity to meet a lot of other people out in the community. And even though most of the folks are college age or a little bit older, this works for people just moving to the community too that may want to learn more about our community and get more involved with it.
Well, and, we have to think that, we're the next leaders. We're the next
Yes.
managers. We are putting ourselves in places to be successful. And sometimes you have to step out of your comfort zone and able to, to be able to do that. And I think this class put a lot of us, the 8 community members that were in it, we now have a bond amongst us, and everyone comes from a different background, a different walk of life. And everybody, before you knew it, I knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody. And
6 degrees.
And 6 degrees of separation. And we really have a bond together. And I'm thankful that I had such a strong class, because this community professionals would have not been what it is
if you
without,
hadn't had this
oh
group
my
of
gosh,
people.
they were awesome and so supportive. And I kind of call it the good, the bad, and the ugly. There were a lot of times, but that's life. And we thought at the end of the day, it was about Atchison. We wanted to make it a better place, and we wanted young people to stay and really feel like they were a part of something. And I think that that's what this group is doing.
Now, the Atchison Young Professionals Group, you've talked about that a little bit, and I personally am extremely excited about this because as a realtor, we get a lot of young people coming into the community, and in many instances, we're the first stop that people make when they move to this community. They need housing.
Sure.
And so for me to be able to refer these people to you is a huge issue, because they need that network of friends. They need that network of people. And so how would people get in touch with you, Katy?
Sure. So a couple of different things. You can just Google me. But we have a Facebook page, and it's just Atchison Community Young Professionals. And then we have a Gmail account that's just ypatchison@gmail.com. But I'm pretty easy to find on the Benedictine website.
I found
Katy
you at
Mcdowell.
Snowball with John.
And I'm pretty much out and about. But I'll pass out my business card to anybody, because I don't want anybody to feel the way that I felt after I graduated college and I didn't know where I fit, 7 years ago. And I ended up leaving Atchison. I forgot to tell you that at the beginning. I ended up leaving Atchison because I didn't quite know where I fit. So I am a firm believer in good people find good people.
Exactly.
And if you refer, anybody needs help at all, and you have somebody who's coming to interview for a job. I know I talked to a couple guys at Bradkin and MGP. They have a lot of people who come and interview, to be an engineer, and they just say, here's your hotel room, here's dinner, I hope you like it. Whereas we can, like I said, my great group of friends, we can take them out and take them to a game.
Great idea.
Yeah, I'd be happy to take anybody out and around and show them, all the things that we love.
Katy, that's a wonderful idea, because as much fun as I think I am, people that are your age, they're wanting to socialize with people that are your age. Reggie and I love everybody, but they don't want to hang out on our front porch with us all the time. So that's fantastic. If I bring in somebody new, and I'm telling this to all my realtors out there, wherever you are, if now you're bringing young people in, connect with Katy in this group, because that's one of the pillars of our community, is that you have to have good friendships. You have to have good relationships. People stay in a community because of the people that they get to meet there and the things that they get to do. And I am so excited with what your mission is here, Katy, because it's fabulous for the community and for Benedictine.
It is. And I, aside from all of that, we've all been at a spot in our lives where we want somebody to want to be around us and to socialize and have a good time. And this group literally was started because I was had enough of people saying that there was nothing to do. I've had enough with that, because there's so much to do. And our hope is to just piggyback on a lot of those events that are already going on, so we can get everyone down to the farmers market, and we can get everyone to go, to the different music concerts or the plays at Theater Atchison. We have to bond together, because we're only as successful as our weakest player.
That's
and
right.
if we can't get everyone on board, then we're not going to go anywhere.
Katy, I could stay here and and talk to you all afternoon. But I've got to wrap it up. Now, Katy, you're at Benedictine. It's Katy Mcdowell. Call her at Benedictine. You've got the websites. Katy, thank you for coming. You have to come back.
I will. I will come back
and see me again?
It's a great day. Thank you.
Thanks. And remember, call me for everything real estate. 367-3116.